Ladies and gentlemen, to meet the increasing demand for beef as well as to improve the quality of beef-oriented herds, this use of white cane, increasing the proportion of beef meat, reducing proportion costs, improving the feeding efficiency have been paid attention from year to year. And since 2016, Tây has implemented the projects on developing beef cattle development for the period of 2016 to 2020. The project has introduced foreign calves with large statue and high flow ability. The percentage of meat reaches from 48% to 50%, such as Resihi, Red Batman, and God Charo hybridized, Tomato, and PPP, to convert and replace traditional calves with a small appearance, poor growth, and low meat ratio. And over 4 years of implementation up to now, there are about 2,910 crossbred calves with a good appearance, large quantity of newborn calves, and well-developed calves. Through testing of households participating in the projects of raising cows in Đăng district, the results achieved are very positive. As of 2018, Đăng has fed about 1,100 cows to be pregnant and reaching more than 35% of the total dose of sowing. And across the province, more than 70 hybridized calves were born. Nguyễn Thành Khỏe families in Gia Lộc communes is raising up to 3 times of hybridized calves, including Angot, PPP, and Charo hybridized, with about 11 hybridized calves. In particular, he took the Angot breeding cows as background because this breed is easy to raise and care for. Recently, Mr. Nguyễn Thành Khỏe has sold about 20-month-old hybridized calf for about 267 kg of meat. This rate is higher than that of regular cows. The export of the Department of Industry and Trade of Tây Ninh province that in the first 9 months of 2019, the exports in the province of Tây Ninh has estimated to reach about nearly 2,800 million Vietnam dong, down to 7.3% over the same period, and only reached about nearly 56% compared to the plan. Export turnover tends to slow down due to the negative movements of the world economy. In particular, contributing to export turnover are main export items such as rubber, textile, fibers of all types, fabrics of all kinds, textile, means of transport, and supplements. Export turnover of this commodity group accounts for 90% of the provincial export proportion. Particularly, the export of agricultural products were estimated at about 199 million US$, down to 56.8% over the same period last year. Agricultural products face many difficulties due to some items that appear oversupply situation, export price, and increased competition, slow demand. Some of the products in this group decreased over the same period as cashew exports and rubber finished products. And ladies and gentlemen, from January the 1st of 2019 to September the 10th of 2019, the administrative reform in Tây Ninh province achieved positive results. The Public Administrative Center of the province has contributed to the fast and timely resolving process of documents according to transaction requirements of the people and the businesses. The Provincial Public Administrative Center carries out and returns the results of administrative procedures upon settlements area under jurisdiction of 18 provincial departments. The number of finished sold files is more than 100,000 records, reaching over 89% of the total number of files to be sold, and the rest are in process of settlement. The operation of the Public Administration Center of the province has become more and more stable and effectively. And on the occasion of the 89th anniversary of the Vietnam Phelan Front Traditional Day, November the 18th of 1930 and November the 18th of 2019, the Phelan Committee of Suda Commune Human Châu District held Festival of Race Solidarity upon inner residential areas in 2019. Attending the ceremony, there were Mr. Nguyễn Thành Ngọc, standing Vice Chairman of the People's Committee, and Mr. Hồ Đức Hải, Vice Chairman of Vietnam Phelan Front Committee of the province. This year, the Festival of Race Solidarity of Inter-Residential Area in Suda Commune took place in many exciting activities. In addition to the ceremony, the people were also excited to join the festival with a musical performance with the theme of praising the Communist Party, alcohol, the homeland of the country, participating in folk games and cooking competitions. In 2019, together with the local government to build the new rural area, Suda Fatherland Front Committee hosted and launched social political organizations and entire people to implement their own people campaign unit to pioneer rural area and civilized city. The people of Australia have promoted economic development, taken care of help the poor, strengthened solidarity and development towards sustainability. On this occasion, many typical collectives, individuals and households in the commune were rewarded with typical achievements in implementing the movements and campaign launches by the Phalanx Front. And in the morning of October the 29th of 2019, the Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union of Trảng Bàng District held the inauguration ceremony and handing over the construction of a free game cluster for children in Gia Bình Commune. The work installed in the office of Phước Hậu Hamlet with 8 game models suitable for all children. The total cost implementing the project is about 60 million Vietnam dong. In particular, Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union Trảng Bàng District mobilized about 20 million Vietnam dong for supporting. The rest was mobilized by Ho Chi Minh Communist Youth Union of Gia Bình Commune from the source of socialization. And up to now, there are 2 free games complexes for children put into use in Trảng Bàng District. Vietnamese government implemented đổi mới renovation that oriented Vietnam towards a market economy, spur economic growth, and usher in broader international integration. And recognizing the connection between the economic and ecosystem needs and education, language curricula become a key development drive point for youth. First, foreign language study is a required subject in Vietnam public school system from grade 3 to 12, and English is the most popular foreign language studies in public schools. Therefore, English language curricula is set by national judgments about development priorities. And second, English language learning is a critical drive point for development, since English language has the most speakers worldwide, 2/3 of whom are non-native speakers. And third, most development discourse occurs through direct or translated English communication. It is critical that English language curricula acknowledge how linguistics shaped and is shaped by a structure of thought and shared understanding, and appreciates the intellectual, ideological, and social understanding upon which speech is based. And thus, the perspective and experience of non-native English-speaking populations can better uniform UN SDG Sustainable Development Goals, debate, and action. Dr. Võ Tòng Xuân, rector of Nam Cần Thơ University and a highly regarded public servant of the Malcolm Delta, called upon teachers in the US and Vietnam to imagine and develop bending bamboo to raise the English proficiency of English teachers in some provinces as Cần Thơ, Đà Nẵng, and Tây Ninh province.
I can answer your question for Cần Thơ because that's where we introduced bending bamboo, and we worked with the senior and junior high school teachers to create bending bamboo. So Bending Bamboo is not a foreign publishing house coming with a book to Vietnam. We are actually creating the book and the lesson plans right here with the Vietnamese teachers. So that's competence, that's confidence, that's collaboration, that's creativity, that's courage. Those are 5 really, really important things, and we've made a lot of progress in 2 years. So our good colleague in Cần Thơ, Dr. Võ Tòng Xuân, recommended us to TTC and Global Đài Ninh and Đài Ninh Province to repeat the process here. So while we continue in Cần Thơ teachers, we want to now try the process in Đài Ninh. So today, with the 150, 160 people in the room, this is our very first exposure today to Đài Ninh teachers. But the last activity, they were all up, they were all doing everything that was asked, they were having fun. Not anybody spoke in Vietnamese, they were practicing their English perfectly. So I have a good feeling that this is going to be a good group to work with.
Yeah, and with a very, very good impression. First impression, as you said before, when you meet for the Tây Ninh teacher for today. So what do you hope about the targets of the project when you introduce to Tây Ninh province?
Sure. So the targets are these. First, we're growing the competence and the confidence of the teachers. And we're working on collaboration between teachers at a school, between private and public schools, city and rural schools, and between Đài Ninh and Cần Thơ schools. So that's one target, is their competence, their confidence, their collaboration. A second target is to create lessons and texts that can be used in the schools here with the teachers themselves. They can help research, write, edit, and then take it to use in the classrooms. A third target is that we think how what's happening in the junior high school, the senior high school, is also something that could be happening in the workforce. Why can't a company use the same approach to engage their citizens, their workers, to practice their English? So we summarize all of our topics as bilingual with purpose, that they're using 2 languages, and the purpose is sustainability and growth of Vietnam. So the last purpose is that this is the future. The teachers and their students, the schools, are figuring out how to use bilingualism to add to the future of Vietnam.
So, yeah, very glad to hear about some of the big and the very big targets of your project in the future for development of the human resources in Vietnam in general. So, what do you hope or think about the future developing of the Vietnamese human resources as well as the society for integration into the world community, global, and with the base as well as the Vietnamese teacher?
Very good question. So my wife and I started working in Vietnam in 1990. So Friday is November 1st. That's our 30th anniversary working with the Vietnamese people in education. All right, started at Kênh University, we worked in Hanoi, we're working in Tây Ninh. In those 30 years, we have seen so much profound change and optimism about the future. It's amazing. The energy, the human energy, is the most important resource. There is so much human energy to see Vietnam progress. We see that in schools, we see that in the marketplace, we see it in the cities, and we see it in the countryside. It's what makes it very gratifying as an American to be working with Vietnamese colleagues. The second thing I'll say is we are working today with the same colleagues that we started with 30 years ago. That is a good working relationship if we can keep collaborating for 30 years with the same people.
So, yeah, with your big target and your enthusiasm with the Vietnamese people in 30 years ago until now, so I hope that your project will be have a success, and we will get the Vietnamese people with the development of the young people of Vietnamese to integration will contribute to make the process and to make the successfulness of your projects as well as other projects. So thank you for joining us. From 2019 to 2021, the Bending Bamboo project is going to have workshops that have critical informed to process of responsibly and responsibly building teacher proficiency. In its first workshops in October of 2019 in Tây Ninh province, Bending Bamboo applied about IC number 3 theory intercultural communicative competence with the English teacher from the 13th public high school and senior high school in Tây Ninh province. The workshop opened the door to the reality of English language teaching of Vietnamese teachers. And that's all for the news of today. Thank you for joining us and see you more next time.